Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. And Karina is from beautiful Venezuela, Caracas, Venezuela. And we went through the K1 visa process just like you guys. And we know it's difficult. We know it's a long process, but you got to be patient, okay? Karina, she lived in Colombia, South America for almost 6 years. We dated for what 3 years? We're together 3 years, got married on the beach here in Florida, January 14th, 2024. Flew from Bogota to Miami, rented a Jeep SUV, drove here to the Panhandle of Florida. Took about 10 hours with our cat Tokyo. And now we've got this YouTube channel where we give you all this free advice on how to process your K1 visa, how to process your green card. This is your YouTube channel. It belongs to you. Okay? It's for you, to help you. I don't need a YouTube channel. I already know how a YouTube channel works. I mean, I know how a K1 visa works. I know how the green card works. I don't need to do this, but I do it because it's important, because you guys may not know how to do this. So we're here for you. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice. I don't work for the U.S. government. I don't work for USCIS. But I got 9 years experience doing this, K1 visas, tourist visas, green cards, spousal visas, etc. So if you got questions, if you need help, then we do the live stream. Normally, we do a live stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. But sometimes I do a live stream during the day just to do something for you guys extra, okay? So that you may have more questions. You may have questions that you have pressing, and you don't want to have to wait for immigration to answer you. You know, what's the wait time now for NOA 1 to NOA 2? It's what, 6 months? It's getting pretty quick. From NOA 1 to NOA 2, the process is really, really quick. In my mind, anyway. It may not be quick to you guys, but it is to me. And then you got to wait for the MVC welcome letter, the K1 FTP welcome letter. That comes in an email. It doesn't come in the letter. It comes in an email. And then you wait for the ready status, the in transit, the ready status. Then you wait for the embassy to contact you so you can pay your visa fee and schedule your visa interview. That's how it works. That's how the K1 visa works. It's not difficult. When you get to America, you got to collect all your evidence back up, and process the green card application. When you process the green card application, make sure you don't forget to include the marriage certificate, the I-94, all your pictures from your wedding, pictures from your honeymoon, if you went on a honeymoon. Make sure you get your beneficiary, him or her, on all your bills, the water bill, the light bill, the gas bill, the lease to the apartment or the deed to the house. Put your beneficiary on the title to your car, because now you're married. It's our car. It's not your car anymore, Mr. Sponsor. It's our car. Nosotras, auto. Okay. So you gotta make sure that you get your beneficiary on everything. And then when the bills start coming in with your beneficiary's name on it, then you put that information in your green card application, which will help you with your green card process, because immigration will see you guys are actually married and living together. You got to prove it, okay? If you get a social security number, you can do it with the I-94 form and the K1 visa and the passport. Go down to the social security office, get the social security number, and then you can put your beneficiary on the bank and get a joint bank account. Wait a month before you file for the green card. Wait a couple of months, get some bank statements coming in with his or her name on the bank statements as a joint owner. Okay? Then file for the green card. Now remember, beneficiaries, if you get your social security card early, before if you do it yourself with just the I-94 and the passport, you're going to have your maiden name on the social security card. If you want to update that to your married name, if you decide to take your husband's name, you have to wait for your green card to come in. When your green card comes in, you go back to the Social Security office with your green card and say, here's my green card, or your work permit, depending on if you want to get that too. And then the Social Security office will update your new name, give you your new married name, and send you a new Social Security card. But in order to get married, like in New Jersey, you got to have a Social Security number to get married. So the process in New Jersey is first get the Social Security number, then get married. Here in Florida, you don't need a social security number to get married. You just need a proof of identification, which was Karina's Venezuelan passport. And that's how it works. Okay. It's not difficult. Now, you don't need an immigration attorney to process this paperwork. The paperwork's not difficult. You don't need an immigration attorney to process your green card application. The process is easy. You just got to pay attention to what you're doing and not rush. Okay. People make mistakes when they get in a big rush. They get in a big hurry. Oh, I got to get it done, got to get it done, got to get it done. I understand that. But when you get to America, give yourself a breather, okay? Put together a strong green card application and make sure you don't mess up the paperwork. It's not difficult. If you need a joint sponsor, get a joint sponsor. Don't submit a green card application if you don't make above 125% of the minimum income. If you make right at 125%, it's not sufficient. Immigration want to see $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 above the minimum income of 125% for your family size. If you're right at the border there, okay, get a joint sponsor, because you're going to get an RFE for a joint sponsor if you don't. Okay, I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to give you a heads up. And the process isn't difficult, and I'll answer your questions for free. This is a free channel. Thanks to YouTube. YouTube graciously allows me to do this for you guys. So that means you don't have to pay an immigration attorney $4,000 or $5,000 to do this very easy process. Okay, that's how it works. Now, what's today? Thursday. Today's April 11th. 2024. April is passing by pretty quick, and NOA 2 letters are getting processed pretty quick. The NVC is doing a lot better. They're getting their K1. They're getting the NVC welcome letters out within 2 months, about 2 months. And there's some embassies that are processing visas quickly, some embassies that are a bit slow. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. The embassies around the world, they each have different workloads. So, if you're trying to schedule a visa interview in Bogota, Colombia, it may take a couple of months because they're busy. They're a very busy embassy. Why are they a busy embassy? Well, they're processing asylum cases. They're processing tourist visas. They're busy. Now, remember, South America is south of the border of us here in the United States. So the embassies right now in South America and Central America are a little busy because of all the asylum cases that they have to process. Well, whatever. And that's why the prices went up for the K1 visas on April 1st. All the immigration fees went up in order to cover the cost of these asylum seekers. It ain't free. Nothing's free. Okay? That's how it works. Now, what the most important thing to do is to be patient. And when you apply for your green card, make sure you put the correct amount on the check. Make sure you fill out the check correctly to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Don't abbreviate that. If you abbreviate the check, and don't pay for your green card or your K1 visa application with a credit card. Don't do that. Sometimes banks don't recognize the bill. Your bank gets a bill for, $1,400 and some bucks. They're like, what the heck is this? They'll block the transaction until they clear it through you. Then what happens then? Immigration will say, well, we're not going to process your green card. The secret is to write a check. Always write a check for your green card application, so you don't get caught up in that boat. Okay, it's not fun to get told that your account, your green card fee has been blocked by your bank. It's not good. So you make sure you fill out the check properly. Make sure you've put the correct amount on the check, and don't forget, there is now a fee for the employment authorization document, the EAD document. It used to be free, but April 1st, 2024, there's now a charge, $260 for that. That doesn't include the price of your biometrics and your green card. That's another fee. And if you want advanced parole, if you want to go back home to see grandma because you miss her so much after you just got here and you still absolutely got to travel, there's over a $600 fee for the advanced parole. So my advice is just wait for the green card, okay? When you get to America, get married, start your life in the United States, and focus on becoming an American. Focus on this country. Focus on learning how to drive a car. Focus on learning on, where's your pharmacy? Where's the hair stylist? Where's Walmart? Where's Publix? Where's Winn-Dixie? Where's TG&Y? Where's TJ Maxx? Find the stores. Learn the barrier. Learn your way around the area where you live in America. Now, if you live up north, it's going to be cold in the wintertime. Prepare your beneficiary for cold weather. If your beneficiary is from the Philippines, India, Indonesia, countries that are warm all year round, that are tropical, then all of a sudden they living in Minnesota or New York or Montana or North Dakota, the climate in the winter times is a whole lot different. So, I would say, if you can get to the United States in the summer and your new wife doesn't know how to drive a car, teach her how to drive a car as quick as you can. Got to get this green card first, obviously. You got to have the green card. You got to have a social security number to get a driver's license, but you do in Florida. I don't know about other states, but in Florida, you got to have a social security number and you got to have a green card before you can get a driver's permit. But teach your beneficiary how to drive. And explain to your beneficiary that you now live in Montana, and right now it's nice and warm and there's no snow on the ground, but come October, you're going to have a different kind of climate. Prepare your beneficiaries for her life or his life in the United States, okay? Teach your beneficiary about taxes. You become a green card holder, you have to pay taxes in the United States. File your taxes jointly. And make sure your name is on the tax return on the 1040, okay? Because if you don't file your taxes when time comes to become a U.S. citizen, then immigration is going to say, why isn't your name on these tax returns? Well, my husband files as head of household or single. You can't do that. You can't do that. Once you get married, you got to file as a family. Okay, immigration will be checking that when you go to lift the conditions off your 2-year green card and you apply for your 10-year green card, you have to include at least 2 years worth of tax returns. Immigration is going to make sure they're going to look to see if your beneficiary's name is on the tax return. That's the way it is. So prepare your beneficiary for America. Teach him or her how to do a tax return. Teach them how to do it. Teach them how to drive. Teach them about our history of our country. Teach them about the Constitution. Teach them about our history. Start preparing your beneficiary, your new husband or your new wife, to become an American citizen. Because when you become a citizen, then you don't have to go through all this paperwork anymore. It's all done and over with. You become a U.S. citizen, it's over. You're done. No more paperwork. No more stress. Okay? No more immigration stress, which is the goal, right? That's the goal. So I decided to jump on here and do a live stream, at lunchtime during the day here. It's Thursday, and it's just a little bit of more information to help continue your advancement up this ladder, because one day you're going to have your green card, one day you're going to have your K-1 visa, and one day you're going to thank me for giving you all this information. Because an immigration attorney is expensive, okay? They're expensive. And what do? They fill out some paperwork, they send it to immigration, and wait for your visa. That's what you can do. You can do that yourself. Ross Lee, hello, Diego and Karina. Ross Lee, what's going on? How's everything? How's your family? Antonio, hey, Diego, will my wife need a social security? Will my wife need a social to open a bank account and get my bills with me? I'm in Louisiana. Probably. In order for me to put Karina on our bank account, we had to have a social security number. So we applied for her social security number. It came in 10 days later. Then we went to the bank and we put her on the bank. And then we waited a month and her name was showing up as a joint owner on the bank. And we included those bank statements in the green card application. So immigration looks at our bank statements and it says Diego and Karina. Okay, both of our names on the bank statements. More than likely, you're going to need a social security number to open up a bank account in Louisiana. As for bills, like the water bill, the electric bill, I don't think so. Just call up write a letter to the water company or the electric company. Write them a letter. Say, hey, I just got married. this is my new wife. Please add her name to the bills. They'll add it to the net. Don't say anything else. Okay. Ross Lee, I did send the adjustment of status from Melissa. Yeah, Melissa isn't she from Colombia? I'm trying to remember. Right. JS, how long is the adjustment of status taking? 4 to 6 months. 3 months is quick, but 4 to 6 months is the average. 5 months, right in there. But don't be surprised if you get an RFE because you missed something in the paperwork if you got in a rush. You cannot get in a rush when you file for your green card. You got to put a cover sheet together, okay, from you, Mr. Sponsor, and from Miss Beneficiary, now the new wife or husband of the sponsor. Remember, the green card application is the beneficiary applying for the benefit. The affidavit of support is the sponsor testifying to immigration that he or she can afford to take care of your new wife or husband. So you got that, right? The adjustment of status paperwork is the paperwork for the beneficiary to get the green card, and the affidavit of support is saying that the sponsor can afford to take care of the family size. Ross Lee, I sent it before April 1st. It was not as strong as I would have wanted it to be, so I'm now preparing for an RFP. Okay, Ross Lee, you got it in there quickly because it saved you a bunch of money. You saved you a bunch of money. Whether you get an RFP or not, I don't know. You may not. Hopefully you don't. The worst case scenario is you don't get an RFE, but you have to go to a visa interview in front of another immigration officer. That's probably the worst case scenario. And she's from Colombia. Yeah, I remember. I remember Melissa's from Colombia. And hopefully she's liking her new life in America. Let's see. Ross Lee, I did not miss any of the required forms. I followed your video. Very good. Good job. Angie Purdue. Hi, Diego. Do you know if the joint sponsor must include the beneficiary and me in her household income? I have a job, but I'm using my mom also just in case I am a few dollars short of gross. The joint sponsor has to cover the household of the beneficiary, the sponsor, and the joint sponsor. Okay? So your question is, must you include the beneficiary and me in the household income? It must be included as a household size. Okay, household size, not so much but if you have some income coming in, if you're making money, okay, is your joint sponsor living under the same roof as you? Where does your joint sponsor, is it a joint sponsor live somewhere else or under the same roof? As long as the income is good, that's all immigration is going to look at. How much is the total income from the joint sponsor and for the sponsor for the family size? That's what they're going to look at. Okay, so relax. So your mom lives in the same city. So your mom is a joint sponsor, but she doesn't live with you. So she filled out I-864. You filled out I-864. You cannot commingle the income because you don't live together. But as long as the income is sufficient, way above 125%, above it, you'll be okay. Let me see. JS, I submitted in mid-March, and we got a biometrics appointment. It'll still take 4 to 6 months from that point. Yeah, unfortunately, we're waiting too. Waiting and waiting and waiting, just like you guys. But it is what it is. It's a process. And Ross Lee, Melissa, she loves America. Yay, that's good. Annie Persord, good afternoon, Mr. Diego, and beautiful Karina. Annie Persord, how are you? How's your family? How's everybody? And Angie Purdue, thank you, no worries. The I-134, right, the joint sponsor has to fill out the I-134, and the sponsor needs to fill out the I-134. You got to bring original signed I-134s to the visa interview and let immigration decide, let them make the call, okay, on what I-134 they're going to use. Okay, let them make the decision. Let's see. Yasin Sandy. Hi, Diego. I sent my package for adjustment of status 2 weeks ago and no send me an email or anything. You think after how much time will they send me an email? Well, did you include USCIS form G1145 in your green card application? If you included USCIS form G1145, immigration will send you a text message to your cell phone notifying you they received your green card application. Did you ship your green card application via UPS, FedEx, or DHL? Hopefully you didn't mail it by US Postal Service. If you send it by DHL, FedEx, or UPS, you will be notified when immigration receives and signs for your green card package. Did you do that? Yasin Sandy, did you send your green card application via courier? Did you send it to the right address? Did you send a G11? Did you include a G1145 form in your green card application so immigration can text you and contact you and tell you they received it? Andrea Purdue. Okay, there you go, Andrea Purdue. Your mom lives in the same city. She fills out an I-134. You fill out an I-134. Get your mom's bank statements, 12 months worth of bank statements. Get your mom's pay stubs, 6 months worth of pay stubs. Her last 3 years worth of tax returns and tax transcripts, W-2s. Put it in a document protector. Okay. Yasin Sandy. Yes, I sent a G1145 and I send in USPS. United States Postal Service. You sent it by the United States Postal Service, not by a courier. You didn't use UPS. You sent it USPS, United States Postal Service. Is that what you did? And you're wondering why you haven't heard anything? Did you send it with a trackable? Did you send it, if you used the U.S. government, if you used the USPS, United States Postal Service, did you send it where the Postal Service will send you notification when it's been delivered? Or did you just put it in the mail? How did you do? Clarify for me. Did you send it through the U.S. Postal Service or UPS? Because that sometimes folks make that mistake and they include an S in there. Never send any immigration paperwork through the U.S. Postal Service. Never. Always use a courier service. Okay? They're a private company. They make money when you. Okay? Don't use the Postal Service. JS, is it normal to get an RFE? Did you get one? No, I haven't got. We didn't get an RFE. We're just waiting on them to adjudicate her green card. Okay, so is it normal to get an RFE if you messed up the paperwork or if you didn't include everything in what they want to see? If you don't have enough evidence in the green card package, you can get an RFE. Can you get an RFE after biometrics? Yeah, you can, sure. Biometrics just means you go get your photo taken and your fingerprints taken, and immigration is processing your case. But it's not a quick process. It's a 4, 5, 6 month process. It's possible to get an RFE after biometrics. Yes, it is. If you put together a package, a green card application that wasn't very strong, that's missing documents, that's some errors in the paperwork, you get an RFE. But you're still going to go to biometrics because you paid for it. When you filed for the green card, you paid for the green card and the biometrics in the one check. So you paid for the service, so you're going to go do your biometrics. But yeah, make sure that you put together a very accurate paperwork. Don't forget to put documents in there that make your green card application strong. Photos of the wedding, the trips together that you made, photos from the home country. When I submitted Karina's green card application with her, well, Karina submitted it. I helped to put it together. We had pictures in there from 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. We had 4 years worth of photos going back, way back into the spring of 2021. Okay. There's pictures of Karina and I in Bogota, Colombia with her friends, with her family, her brothers and sisters, etc. Let me see. Yasin Sandy, I sent it U.S. Postal Service. Well, that's mistake number one. But did you tell the Postal Service to get a signature upon receipt of your green card application at the lockbox. Did you send it to Chicago or to Arizona? Where did it go? Where did it go? You gotta make sure you can track the green card. If you send it by U.S. Postal Service, pay extra money and have it tracked. Get a receipt on delivery. That way you know that it was accepted by the lockbox in Chicago or Arizona. But my advice is never use the U.S. Postal Service to send a green card application. Use a courier service. 77 podcast. Hey, Diego, what's the time limit for an interview to be scheduled? Okay, well, what country? Are we talking about a green card interview? Are we talking about a K-1 visa interview? What country? Every embassy around the world has different time frames for processing K-1 visas. Colombia has a different time frame from Ghana. Ghana has a different time frame from Australia. Ross Lee. Diego, I didn't think it was okay to include pictures from when Melissa was still in Colombia. I have thousands of those. Yes. When you apply for a green card, you're applying for permanent residency in the United States. You want to show a timeline of your relationship. Okay? You want to show the green card. Remember, when you applied for the K-1 visa, boom, you got your NOA-2 letter, you made it to the visa interview, you got approved at the visa interview, you got to America, you got married. A brand new person, a totally new person is going to adjudicate your green card package. They're going to want to see pictures of your relationship and how did it develop. How did it develop? Well, I put in the green card application for Karina pictures from 2021, 2022, 2023, and here in America in 2024. So immigration can see a 4-year relationship, plus all the other evidence. Can you send the pictures now? No, it's too late. Don't worry about it. But when you apply for the 10-year green card, make sure you include pictures from when your relationship started up until when you mail in the paperwork for the 10-year green card. So you're going to have what? A minimum of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years worth of stuff. Let me see. Priyanka, today I checked my online account. Work permit time changed from a week to 3 months. Is it normal? Don't worry about that. Just don't go in there and check that. Just wait for it. However long it takes is however long it takes, right? If it's 3 weeks or 3 months, however long it takes is however long it takes. So don't go in there and don't give yourself a headache constantly checking the status, because you're going to get a headache. Your question is it normal? Is it normal for immigration to keep changing stuff on their timelines? Totally. They do. They change stuff all the time. Rossley, okay. Yasin Sandy, yes, I got email from the U.S. Post Office. It delivered my package. Okay. So, Yasin, the Postal Service, the U.S. government Postal Service, such as it is, told you that they delivered your package to the lockbox. Okay. Very good. Now, apparently, the green card folks are busy. And where did it go to? You said Phoenix, Arizona? Is that where it went? Let me see. I think you said Arizona. It went to Phoenix, Arizona. They're busy right now. Phoenix, Arizona is more busier than Chicago. Okay? So if it went to Arizona, you got to wait a little bit longer for them to open up the box, find your 1145, and send you a text message. They're busy. Arizona's busy because they're dealing with Los Angeles and all the asylum seekers in California. Okay? So, Yasin, just relax, okay? And you will hear from Phoenix, Arizona, probably in the next week or two. Priyanka, okay, Diego, thank you. You are a lifesaver. Priyanka, we're here for you. That's why we're here, to help you guys. Chico, Diego, did I need to include my daughter in the I-134 form? Your daughter needs a separate I-134 form. Your daughter is applying for a K2 visa. She needs a separate I-134 form. You're applying for a K1 visa. You need an I-134 form. You need two. An I-134 for you, Shiku, and an I-134 for your daughter for the K2. These are two separate visas that you are applying for. A K1 is a visa for a future spouse. A K2 is a visa for a child of a future spouse. They both require an I-134 filled out properly and signed by the sponsor. Your sponsor must fill out an I-134 for you, Shiku, and also for your daughter. Two separate forms, okay? Very important. If you don't, it's going to be a problem. Priyanka, did Karina receive her EAD? No, not yet. We're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, just like you guys. But it's a process, okay? Chill out. Relax, guys. Put your feet up. Man, I put my feet up. I just put my feet up on the desk here, and I'm going to relax and wait for this paperwork. Let me see. But Shiku, you must also include your daughter in the I-134 as your dependent. Your sponsor fills out the I-134. Your daughter's name will be listed as your dependent. Okay? You got it? So your sponsor fills out the I-134 for Shiku. And in the I-134, puts your name. And then underneath your name, you put your daughter's name. And then underneath that, you're going to put number of dependents, 1. Okay, I'll print an I-134 for the next live stream. Here's your I-134. Here's your name, Shiku. Underneath your name is your daughter's name. And then it says how many dependents? 1. So you're going to put 1 for dependents on your form, I-134 for Shiku. Now, your daughter needs an I-134 also filled out by your sponsor. On your daughter's I-134, you're going to put your daughter's name. But does she have any dependents? No, she's 11 years old. She doesn't have any dependents. So on her I-134, it's going to be 0 for dependents. So you're going to have an I-134 with Shiku, an I-134 for your daughter, and you have 2 separate I-134s for 2 separate visas, K1 and K2. You got it? Let me see. 77 podcast. Hi, Diego. What's the time limit for an interview to be scheduled for Senegal? Senegal is about 3 months. It's about 3 months for the K1. SOS, general timeline for biometrics appointment after I-485 is received. About 2 weeks. You should get a letter in the mail from immigration saying they have scheduled your biometrics. Usually you'll get it within 7 days to 14 days. Give it like 2 weeks. Fazek, I really feel I should put the court docs for the DUI in with the separate RFE request. Did immigration ask for that? In the RFE, you got an RFE. Did immigration ask you for that? You never include anything in an RFE that the immigration doesn't ask for. You don't want to open up cans of worms that you don't need to open. Okay? So you feel you should put the court docs for the DUI in with the separate RFE request? If the U.S. immigration asks you for court documents for your DUI, then you do. Priyanka, thank you, Diego. And Karina, no problem, Priyanka. And Shiku, separate form. Thought it was only for me. No, Shiku, no. A K1 visa is for you. The K2 visa is for your daughter. K1 visa needs an I-134. K2 visa needs an I-134. On the I-134, for you, Shiku, your sponsor is going to put your name and your daughter's name with 1 dependent. On your daughter's I-134, it's going to have your daughter's name with 0 dependents because your daughter's 11 years old and she doesn't have any dependents. SOS, thanks so much. I appreciate all your videos. Well, SOS, that's why we're here. You know, I make videos to help you guys, to get you through this process. It's not easy. I mean, and there's people making stupid mistakes, and it's cost them a lot of time and a lot of money. Well, if I can save you from making stupid mistakes, I'm going to save you time and I'm going to save you money, right? And stress. Because if you try to get an answer from immigration, you try calling immigration, you could be on hold for 3 or 4 hours, right? It's crazy. Angie Purdue, is it okay to put my mom's address in our visa application? I'm not sure mine is okay as I live in an all-girls student apartment. Use your mom's address. Don't use your all-girls student apartment as your address. That's temporary. That's the dorm room. That's where you hang out while you're in college, getting educated. Use your mom's address, okay? Out of which I'll move when Moroccan fiance comes. Yeah, put your mom's address. Don't use that address. Immigration's going to send you an RFE. Angie Purdue, why are you going to move in? Why is your future husband going to be moving into an all-girls apartment with you in a university? Really? No. Put your mom's address and you're good, okay? Angie Purdue, it's an apartment with 4 rooms. 4 rooms. Okay. So he's going to bunk in one of the 3 other rooms? So I don't think so. Use your mom's address. Let me see here. Shiku, I have to inform my fiance immediately. I have 1 month to the interview. OMG, I thought it only 1. I don't want to be late. Diego. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're on this channel because I just saved you from a massive headache. Because he would have went to the visa interview and you would have went to the visa interview with your daughter and they would have asked you for the I-134 for your daughter, for the K2. You got to have 1 for the K1 and 1 for the K2. Get it done. Get it done. Fazak, sorry, Diego. My first comment did not go through. I checked the box on I-129F, page 9, box 4, arrested, charged, etc., but put no more information. Well, if you checked that box as a yes, and you didn't put those documents in with your K1 visa, you're going to get an RFE, and immigration is going to ask to see them. So all you can do is wait right now for the RFE. Okay? I understand. Okay, what you did. Page 9, box 4A. You checked it. No biggie. Okay, it's just it's something that happened a long time ago and you got it resolved. You haven't repeated that. It was an error. It was a lesson. You learned a lesson. And immigration is just going to want to see the court documents. So I would get them ready because they're going to ask you for them. I'm not sure they have done a background check yet. Well, if they did, they would have been already sending you the RFE. Angie Purdue, but thank you. It's just because of the lease. Yeah, Angie, no problem. But I will use her address. Use your mom's address. Don't put that all-girls college as your address because immigration is going to say, wait a second. So you're going to get married and he's going to live in an all-girls college with you? Seriously? Man, that's risky right there. Use your mom. You're good. Use your mom's address. Let me see here. And Siku, you got to get that I-134. Your sponsor's got to fill out the I-134 for your daughter. Okay? He's just going to put the same information but change the names. Instead of using your name, he's going to use your daughter's name. Okay? And on your I-134, it's going to have your name and her name with 1 dependent. On your daughter's I-134, it's going to be just her name with 0 dependents. It's easy. It's easy to do. Priyanka, I'm anxious about visa processing. I admire Karina being peaceful. I will take notes from Karina. Karina's chilling. She's chilling. She's just waiting on her green card, her EAD document. You know, she's got her feet up, relaxed, chilling out. We're chilling out together here in Florida. And we went to Walmart today. I put gas in the car. And well, Karina did. She learned how to do that. She's doing great. She's learning how to put gas in the car. It's not easy, guys. You need to, if your beneficiary lived in India or in some other country where she's never had to drive a car, okay, teach them how. They don't have no idea how to put gas in a car. Teach them how to do it. I'm serious. You got to learn these things, Mr. Beneficiary. Shiku, do you know how to put gas in a car? Do you know how to use a credit card and then do this and hit that and pump it? You know, you're going to learn pretty quick. Let's see. So go ahead, Priyanka. Take notes from Karina. Don't be stressing this. You'll get your green card. You'll get your work permit. It could be in 3 months. It could be in 4 months. It could be 5 months. Okay, somewhere in there, but you're going to get it. Let me see. Angier Purdue. It's an off-campus apartment. It just happens to have 4 girls as roommates. Well, okay. Anyone could live here. Actually, oh, gotcha. I gotcha. But not 2 people in 1 bedroom. Go figure, right? But yes, it's easier to use my mom's house, as you said. You need to use your mom's house, okay? But dear Mike, hi Diego, I hope you're doing well. Always. We're always doing good. What happens when you get a 221G pink form? Well, read it. Was this at the visa interview? So at the visa interview, somebody got a 221G pink form. Read what it says. What does it say? The immigration officer, the consular officer, is going to make He's going to make check marks on the 221G form. He's going to check this, check this. You need this, you need this. What does it say? You know, I'm trying to remember. Is it for I think in your case it was for a death certificate, wasn't it? For your fiance's ex-spouse passed away, and the visa was approved, and they kept the passport, but you just needed a notarized certified copy of the death certificate. That's what I believe you're waiting for. That's what the 221G pink form is in your case. If I remember, and if I'm wrong, correct me. Okay, correct me. But I think that's what it was. Priyanka, one more question. Okay, Lieutenant Colombo, one more question, Diego. This is coming from my friend. He has a 10-year green card, but USCIS misspelled his name. How long is it going to take to correct the name on his green card? Well, it could take months to do that. It could take a long time. I mean, I don't know. It could take 6 months. It could take a year, or it could take 5 months. I don't know. Shiku, yeah, I live in Germany. I have a credit, but my interview in Sierra Leone because I was to bring my daughter. Yeah, you're going to have your K1 visa interview in Sierra Leone. So you're going to fly to Sierra Leone. You're going to go pick up your daughter, go to the K1 and the K2 visa interview. You're going to bring your daughter's birth certificate, your birth certificate. You're going to bring your I-134, your daughter's I-134. You're going to have tax returns, tax transcripts, W-2s, pay stubs from your husband's job in America, 12 months worth of bank statements with the deposits showing the income. You're going to have your passport, your daughter's passport. You're going to have your medical exam, your daughter's medical exam. And you're going to have your police certificate from Germany, your police certificate from Sierra Leone if you live there. Your daughter doesn't need any police certificates because she's 11 years old, so she doesn't need any police certificates. And then you're going to get your K1 and your K2 visa, and then you're going to get on a plane and you're going to fly to the United States from Sierra Leone, right? You're not going to go back to Germany. You're going to say goodbye, Germany. Once you get that K1 visa in your passport, if you're in Sierra Leone, get on a plane it's in the airport and fly to a USA, okay? And everything's going to work out for you, CQ. If you listen to me, if you listen to my words, if you follow my actions, if you follow the things I tell you to do, you're going to be good. Did you resubmit the DS-160? And on the new DS-160, did you say that your daughter was going to be accompanying you to the United States as a K2? Did you redo the DS-160? That's very important that you did that. You also need an I-134 for your daughter filled out by your sponsor. That's going to be with you at the visa interview, okay? So I think, Shiku, you learned a lot today from the channel, right? You learned a lot from today's live stream for your K1 and for your daughter's K2. And we can't wait for your daughter to get to America, and you can get her in school and get her settled and get her learning about the United States. And everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be fine. Shiku, never knew, Diego. This is serious. I need 2 I-134s for me and my daughter. Yeah, that's correct. There's 2 visas. 2, uno, dos. 2 visas. K1 is a separate visa. K2 is a separate visa. When you apply for the green card, you got to have 2 green card applications, 2 affidavits of support, you got to fill out 2 separate packages, a green card application for you and a green card application for your daughter. Now you can include both of them in the same package and send it by FedEx, UPS, or DHL to the lockbox, no problem. But you got to make sure that you don't forget that your daughter, even though she's 11 years old, she's treated as an individual by immigration. Okay? She's treated as an individual. 2 separate green card applications, 2 separate I-134s, 2 separate visas, K1, K2. Okay? Shiku, I'm going to save you a massive headache. I'm going to save your visa for you. I'm going to save you a lot of headaches. If you got to get this done. You got to get your sponsor to fill out an I-134 and get it to you for your daughter. It's not hard if you're in Germany. FedEx goes to Germany. Okay. Allow time for customs because the form has to go through customs in Frankfurt, I'm sure. Just like if you mail documents to any country in the world, they got to clear customs. So get it done today. Your sponsor needs to get that I-134 filled out and overnight it to you like tomorrow. So there's time to clear customs in Germany. Priyanka, great live stream, Diego. We give Priyanka a Mountain Dew salute for that positivity. Thank you, Priyanka. Now, Priyanka, you live in Alabama. It's interesting you live in Alabama and you had to mail your green card application to Phoenix, Arizona. And we live down the road from you here in Florida, and we had to send our green card application, well, Karina's green card application, to Chicago. Go figure, right? Isn't that kind of strange? It is what it is. But thank you, Priyanka. We're going to help you. Now, Shiku, I'm going to save your daughter from getting an RFE. Get that I-134 to you. Your sponsor needs to get on it. Priyanka, yes, Diego, I live in Alabama. After 2-year conditional green card, when can we apply for the citizenship? Okay, here's how it works. Priyanka, you get your 2-year conditional green card. You look on your green card, okay, and there's going to be an expiration date on your 2-year green card. You look on the expiration date, and it's going to, and then 3 months, 90 days before your green card, your 2-year green card expires, you apply for the 10-year green card and you lift the conditions off your 2-year green card. You got that, right? So here's your 2-year green card. You look at the issue date. You look at the expiration date. Oh, it expires here. 3 months before it expires, you apply for the 10-year green card. You lift the conditions off the 2-year green card. And you wait for your 10-year green card. 3 years from the issue date of your 2-year green card, your conditional green card, 2 years from the issue date on your 2-year green card, 3 years, you can apply for your citizenship, Form N-400, okay? 30 days before your 3-year time in the United States. So let's suppose in your 2-year green card, it has an issue date of, let's say, May 1st, 2024, okay? 2024 to 2025, 2025 to 2026, 2026 to 2027. 3 months before May 1st in 2027, you can apply for U.S. citizenship. But you must lift the conditions off your conditional green card. Okay? If you don't, you'll get deported. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's no excuses. Immigration will have a very bad time if you do not lift the conditions on your 2-year green card. Tell me you understand that, Priyanka. Shiku, yes, I have done that. I have changed my information that my daughter is coming with me. I have a new DS-160. I am happy. Okay, you get a Mountain Dew salute. Shiku, you listen to me. We're gonna get your daughter from Sierra Leone to America, right? Right? We're gonna do that. Paulino Gomez, my K1 interview was yesterday in Rio de Janeiro. I got a 221G. They asked for original death certificate of my fiance's late husband. Why? The reason for that, Paulino, is because they want to make sure that you are legally free and able to marry your American citizen sponsor. Okay? That's all. The original death certificate is a requirement. Okay? If a beneficiary was married to somebody in the past and that person died and went to heaven, immigration, okay, you need to tell immigration, well, I'm a widow. Okay? Immigration says, okay, you're a widow, so you're legally free and able to marry your American citizen sponsor, but we want to see the death certificate. And it has to be translated into English for the green card. Okay? That's the way it is. So you got a 221G. That sucks. But you got to prove that your fiance is legally free and able to get married. You guys got to prove it. You do it with paperwork. That's a lot of paperwork, right? Doing this K1 visa. It's crazy. It's a lot of paperwork. But at the end, you get through it all. Everything's good. Then you get your 10-year green card. Then you wait for 3 years and become a citizen. And you don't have to worry about all this immigration stuff anymore. You become American. Then you can go vote. Let's see here. Shiku. I'm happy you told me, Diego, because I was about to go to the interview with 1I-134. Very happy, Diego, that you should have been an RFE. Thank you, Diego. Shiku. That's no problem. We're going to help get your 11-year-old daughter to America. We're going to get her here, okay, with you. No problems. But you got to get that I-134 into your hand, okay, for your daughter. Today, your sponsor needs to be doing that right now. He needs to be on a computer going into uscis.gov/forms, look up I-134, and fill it out for your daughter, her name. No dependents. Remember, there's no dependents for the daughter's I-134. Andrew Purdue. Do we have to apply for the adjustment of status immediately after marriage, or can we wait a few months if necessary? I recommend you get it done within 90 days of your I-94. Immigration gives you 90 days to get married and get the paperwork together. Okay? You can wait a couple of months, but the most important thing is you get married within 90 days. You land in America with a K1 visa. The K1 visa becomes obsolete. It's irrelevant. The consulate, the Border Patrol officer will stamp in your passport that you legally entered the United States. And they will either put a paper I-94 in your passport, but they will generate an electronic I-94. That I-94 is going to have a DS number put on it. It's a DS number. DS means duration of stay. Duration of stay means you got 90 days to get married. Forget the K1 visa. The K1 visa is in the trash. Okay? Don't throw your K1 visas in the trash, by the way. You need that for your freaking green card application. It's an expression. When you land in America, the K1 visa has gone away. Now you're working off of an I-94. The I-94 is the Border Patrol officer, with his power that he has or she has given you 90 days to get married within 90. You got 90 days to get married. You get married within that block of time. When you get your marriage license or your marriage certificate, it's going to have a date of marriage on the marriage certificate. When you file for your green card, immigration is going to look at the marriage certificate date, and they're going to compare it with the I-94 duration of stay. And if you got married within the duration of stay, you're good to go. Even if you wait a couple of months past, 3 months, if you've got to wait 3 months, okay. But my recommendation is you get the green card application done within the 90 days before the I-94 time's out. April Flower, hi Diego. Is there such a thing as medical exam letter for K1? I wasn't sure if U.S. medical exam in Dubai wanted an interview letter or specifically a medical exam letter from the embassy. No. In Dubai, you go to your medical exam by a civil surgeon approved by the State Department. You get your medical exam. They put it in a sealed envelope. They tape it. They say, "Don't open this," and you bring it to the visa interview. That's all. There's no letter. If there is a letter, it's going to be inside that sealed envelope, and you're not going to be able to see it. April Flower, do we? 1 second. Priyanka, Yes, Diego, I understand that. How long is it going to take to get a 10-year green card when we apply after conditional green card? Thank you, Diego and Karina. It could take 3 or 4 months, about 4 months. You'll get your 10-year green card in the mail, and then a couple of months after that, or I would say like 6 months after that, you can get ready for apply for U.S. citizenship. Okay, it's good. Priyanka, hang in there, and I'm glad to see you looking that far ahead. That's good. I'm glad to see that. April Flower, do we necessarily need an attorney for a green card application? No. Listen, April Flower, an immigration, what paperwork is required for a green card? The paperwork. I'm talking the paperwork. Okay. You need, let me see here. You need an affidavit of support. Okay. Which is 10 pages long, which your sponsor fills out. The beneficiary fills out Form I-485, which is 20 pages long. The beneficiary can fill that out with the help of a sponsor. And then if you want a work permit, you fill out I-765, which is 7 pages long. And that's it. And then if you want advanced parole, if you can read and write, if you can understand English, if you can add up to 10, you can fill out these paperwork, you can fill out these forms without an immigration attorney. It's not hard. It's very simple. And if you watch the videos that I've made on how to fill out the 485, on how to fill out the I-864, on how to fill out the work permit, if you watch the videos I've made, you kick back, get you a bottle of Mountain Dew, okay? I am the advocate for Mountain Dew. Now, Mountain Dew doesn't pay me to say that, by the way. I promote Mountain Dew for free. But if you can fill out, if you can read and write and can count to 10, you can fill out this paperwork. But if you watch the videos I've made on how to do it, okay, it doesn't take long. A 20-minute video, I'll save you $4,000 in an attorney fee. Don't pay an attorney to do this. Go to uscis.gov/forms, okay? Print the forms I just said. Print those forms and read over them and study them before you put ink to paper. And then once you understand the forms, go on the computer and fill them out and print them. And then prepare your green card application. Okay? Instead of giving an immigration attorney $5,000, $2,000, I don't know how much they charge, a lot of money, use that money for your family. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody's questions. Shiku, she has the copy. She just needs to change my information to my daughter information. There you go. That's how you do it. Angie Purdue, yes, I see. I ask because if I don't make exactly 125% of the income at the time of AO adjustment status, surely if I can wait until I do. You got to prove it. Okay, the minimum income for a family of 2, let me tell you, guys, I'm going to help you here. If you are a family of 2 and you are applying for a green card, you want to make at least $30,000 a year. The minimum is $25,550. That's the borderline. That's 125% of the minimum, okay? But immigration don't want to see minimums. They want to see above. They want to see at least $4,000 to $5,000 above the 125%. So the minimum income for a family of 2 is $25,550. You want to make at least $30,000 plus to qualify for a family of 2 for a green card. Okay. Let me see. Matt Burner, my fiance is trying to schedule the interview, but it always says nothing available. Any advice on that and how often they add appointments? Well, remind me of the country. You guys got to give me a heads up on which country you're talking about. But if it says there's nothing available, you got to keep looking. Like Rennes or Colombia. Yeah, that's right. Colombia is busy right now. Okay, you probably won't be able to schedule a K1 visa interview in Colombia until probably I would say middle of July, right? It's April, May, June. I would say the end of June, beginning of July is when they'll open up. But you got to keep looking. Colombia is one of the busiest embassies in the world for processing K-1s and asylum visas. There's lots of asylum visas going through the embassy in Bogota right now. You got what, 3 million people or 2 million Venezuelans live in Colombia, and they are entitled to, if they want to, apply for asylum in the United States. If they want to, they can. I got no problem with that. It's a good thing. But it's required. But the embassy in Bogota is busy processing that paperwork. They're busy. Okay? So probably by June or July, you will get an appointment available for K1. Keep looking. Matt Berner, keep looking, keep looking. You've paid the visa fee, right? You printed the MERV receipt. You paid the visa fee, right? Andrew Purdue, I see. I'll be a recent graduate, and I'm very close to being offered a job at 30K, so I'm praying. So we are praying. Andrew Purdue, when you graduate from college, make sure you include in your green card application your degree, your document showing that you graduated from college, and then write a letter of explanation to immigration in your green card application for your beneficiary that you just recently graduated from college, and that is why my income is a little low for this last 2 years or whatever, and you have been given, but they don't care about job offers, okay? They couldn't care less about job offers. They want to know how much money do you make right now. They don't care about, well, in 6 months from now, I'm going to be probably doing this. They will throw that letter in the trash. But you must write a letter. You must write a letter explaining why your income was lower because you were a college student. And here's my college degree, and I just got it. And I'm very proud that I made it through this 4-year degree. Immigration want to see the degree. That will counteract your low income. That will explain it. And that will help you with your green card application for your beneficiary. Okay? You're going to be offered a job at 30K. Okay, that's great. But what you need is to be working at a job that you can prove that income. But for right now, you need a joint sponsor. And it's no big deal. It's not a problem to have a joint sponsor. It's okay to do that. Okay? Priyanka, in 2021, my husband started his full-time job from September 21 into December 2021. His income was 33K. In 2022, his income was 78K. Good. In 2023, his income was $90,000 a year. Will that be a problem for immigration? No, that's not a problem for immigration, and it's a great benefit to your family. No, you're going to get your green card. No problems. But you got to prove it. Pay stubs, tax returns, bank statements. You got to prove it. Angie Purdue. Okay, I will, Diego. Thank you so much. That really helped me get that help with my context. I'll have the job by the time we do the K1. There you go. But make sure you include your graduations, your college degree, in your green card application with an explanation on your income. Immigration will see you graduated from college. They know that you're going to be able to make money in the future. They know that from your degree. Okay. Jason, since my fiance K1 visa is a denial, I schedule a consultation with an immigration attorney. I know I don't want to file a K1 again. What do you think about getting married on a B2 visa? Okay, getting married on a B2 visa is immigration fraud. A B2 visa is used for tourism, not for matrimony. A K1 visa is used to get married. You come to America on a K1 to get married. You come to America on a B2 as a tourist. If you come to America on a B2 tourist visa and get married, you file for the green card. Immigration's going to want to see, and they're going to want an explanation. Why you're here as a tourist? Why did you get married? What's going on? They could deny the green card. You don't need to hire an immigration attorney to repeat a K1 visa. You don't need an immigration attorney to file a spousal visa. If you want to get married, you go to her country, You marry her in her country, you come back to the United States, and you file the spousal visa. If your beneficiary comes to America on a B2 and you guys get married and they see her past immigration record was a K2, was a K1 denial, they're more than likely going to deny the green card. There's a possibility. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney, okay? I'm not giving you any legal advice, but you don't need an attorney to do this. Don't waste your money. An immigration attorney is going to take your money, okay, and do what? What is he going to do? Tell me what he's going to do for you. What is he going to do for you? He's going to tell you you can reapply for your K1, or you can get married on a spousal, and he'll put together a spousal visa for you. But you know how to do that yourself. I'm serious. Don't waste your money on the immigration. You schedule a consultation with an immigration attorney. Okay. What's it? What for? What? To do what? Your K1 got denied because of whatever. So you got two options. You can reapply for the K1, okay? Or you can get married in your beneficiary's country and file for the spousal visa. Those are your two options. If she comes to America on a B2 tourist visa, you guys get married, immigration is going to go in and look at your past immigration record, not your beneficiary, and say, wait a second, you got a K1 denial, and now you come over as a tourist, which is misrepresentation. What happens when you misrepresent? What happens if somebody does a misrepresentation on a tourist visa? What happens? There was a lady from Kenya who came to America on a B2 tourist visa to go visit with her fiance, I guess. But she went to work. She was here in America for 5 months because a tourist visa is good for 10 years. But she was here, and it's good for 6 months. But she was here for 5 months working. And on her cell phone, she put all these pictures of her working at this job, making all this money. And she's going to head back to Kenya and give this money to her family. Okay? Well, guess what happened? She's at the airport in the United States of America. The Border Patrol looked at the lady and said, yeah, I want to see your cell phone. So she hands her cell phone to the Border Patrol officer and opens up her phone, and he goes in there and he finds all these pictures of her working. What did he do? What did the Border Patrol officer do? Well, number one, he canceled her tourist visa. Okay. He got a pen and did a big X through it, like the Elon Musk X. He did a big X through it, and he terminated her tourist visa, and then told her you are banned from entering the United States for 5 years. Then she flew back to Kenya, deported, and then immigration upgraded her ban to lifetime. So now this lady, not only has she got a 5-year ban on a B2, she has a lifetime ban on entering the United States because she misrepresented herself on the visa. She said she was coming to America as a tourist, but she didn't. She was working. She can't ever come back to America without a waiver of some kind, and she's lucky she'd even get that approved. So if somebody enters the United States on a B2 visa and they get married, that's misrepresentation of the visa, and it's visa fraud. Don't do it. Don't do it. Follow the rules. Follow the rules. Okay? Let me see here. And don't waste your money on an immigration attorney. Don't waste your money. You got two choices. Redo the K1 visa, and you know how to do that, or get married in her home country and file a spousal visa. Those are your only options. You know how to do it, right? The paperwork. Just redo the paperwork. And get it done. If you get married in the home country, that will say to immigration, yeah, your relationship was real. Boom, you get your visa approved. 99% of the time. So anyway, Jason, don't get married on a B2 visa. She won't make it through the green card application. Priyanka, we submitted W-2s, pay stubs, tax returns, 2021, 2022, 23, joint bank statements. Fantastic. Priyanka, you're just going to wait it out. You're just going to wait it. Soon you'll get your work permit and then your green card. Life is just for living. Now, I like that. Life is just for living. I like that. Hi, Diego and Karina. Do you know how long, on average, USCIS is taking to process the work permit? It's like three months, about 3 months, somewhere in there, 2 to 3 months. Mr. Rody 14. Hello, good friend Diego. What's up, Mr. Rody 14? We're glad to see you on the channel. I hope the channel has been doing well in my absence. Well, we missed you, man. We're glad you're back. I have 2 questions. Tengo una preguntas. I have 2 questions. Yo tengo dos preguntas. Is good? My Spanish good? Okay, so you said my Spanish is good. I filed adjustment of status on March 23rd. When should I expect to hear back from USCIS? Well, it took us about 8 days. We put it when Karina filed for a green card. She included G1145 in her green card. It went to Chicago, and Chicago's processing green cards a little quicker than Phoenix, Arizona. So about a week later, we got a text message saying they received Karina's green card application. And your question is, how long does it take? Where did your green card application go? Did it go to Phoenix, Arizona, or did it go to Chicago, Illinois? Mr. Rody 14. Answer that question. Help me out. Jason, $200,000 fine and a year in prison is the risk. That is $250,000 fine, okay, and a year in prison. And actually, it could go to 5 years because misrepresentation of a visa is not taken lightly by U.S. immigration. It's not good. Just listen up, Jason, do this. Here's what you need to do. You need to get on a plane, fly to your beneficiary's home country, put together a big, massive wedding with all her family and friends, and even everybody from her town, fill the place with people, get hundreds of pictures, have a fantastic wedding, come back to America, and file a spousal visa, and put about 50 wedding pictures in with all your family and friends, and get your spousal visa adjudicated and approved. They're getting done a lot quicker now. It's getting done much faster. This isn't COVID. We're not in COVID anymore. That's gone away. Okay? It's no longer affecting anything. And USCIS has hired 4,000 new people to process visas. Just get on a plane, fly to the country where she lives, have a big wedding, have lots of people, have a big slam dunk reception with lots of good food, lots of pictures, have a great time, come back to America, file for a spousal visa. Okay? And my phone, this is Karina's phone actually. Andrea in Colombia. Un momento, por favor. Gracias. Espera. Karina is ocupada. Thank you. It's Andrea. It's our family in Colombia. Beautiful family. Let me see here. Jason, will CL1 have any issues due to the K1 denial? The K1 visa was denied because why? They thought you were married, right? You got a K1 visa denial because the consular officer saw pictures of your engagement rings, and they figured you were married, right? Is that the right answer? Yes. So they thought you were married, so they denied your K1 visa because you had pictures with your engagement ring on your fingers in the photos, and you didn't identify the pictures. Okay? If you have pictures with your engagement ring on it, you got to tell immigration, this is an engagement ring. And here's a receipt for the engagement ring. If they just see pictures like this, they think you got married, they're going to deny the visa because there's no explanation. So you can do one of two things. You can get letters of affidavit proving it was an engagement ring to reopen your case, or you can get on a plane and fly and get married, and then apply for a spousal visa. Your K1 visa got denied because they thought you were married. So go ahead and get married. Then the problem is solved. Then your spousal visa will get approved, right? Because you had a K1 denial doesn't mean that they're gonna block you from a second attempt. The reason they blocked you is because they thought you were married. So go get married. Do it. Let me see. Mr. Rody, 14. Okay, so you sent it to Chicago. So it should take about 10 days before you hear back. So what's today? The 20. You sent it when? The 23rd? You said? On the 23rd of March. Well, you should have heard back already. I don't know, man. Today's the 11th. You should have heard back already. Did you include a G1145, Mr. Rody 14, in your green card application? Did you send it by FedEx? Did you send it by UPS, DHL? How did you ship your green card application? Life is just for living. My green card application went to Arizona from the 1st of April, and to date, no response. No, just for living. And Arizona's busy. They're maxed out with green card paperwork. They're very busy right now. So be patient with Chicago, with Phoenix. But Chicago, they should have already responded. Okay, to Mr. Rody 14. They should have already responded to you by now. Let me see. Rui Willis. Hi, Diego and Karina. We included Form I-134 and financial documents in our K-1 packet. What happens if I don't carry extra copies to the interview? Well, number one, the embassy doesn't want to see a copy of your I-134. They want to see the original. So redo it. Mr. Rody 14, man. Look, you get a Mountain Dew salute. Mr. Rody 14, thank you for that super chat. You sent it by UPS and you included G1145. Okay, so the problem is that right now, then they're busy. Chicago's busy. Mr. Rody 14 gets a super chat salute. So I can take Karina to eat Hardee's next Sunday. She eats the big breakfast at Hardee's, the platter. But she likes the bacon. I like the bacon too. Jason Mabry, will a CR1 have an issue due to the K1 denial? No, it won't. It will be perfectly fine. But you got to write an explanation in your spousal visa application that your K1 was denied because the consular officer thought that you guys were married, but you weren't. So you went to the home country and you got married to satisfy the demand of the immigration officer. Now you're married. Please process my visa. Just explain it. Okay? Mr. Rody 14, also my fiance's I-94 expired, so she cannot work. Should we file for an I-765 when we file for the adjustment of status? Mr. Rody 14, don't waste your money on the work permit right now. It's going to cost you $260 for a freaking work permit that you're going to get, and then right after that, you'll get the green card. Everything went up in price. Plus, you got to pay for the work permit. Don't waste your money on a work permit. Save the money. Just apply for the green card and wait for the green card. Okay? Unless you want to pay $260 for an employment authorization document, and if you do, you include all that in your green card application. You don't apply separately. You apply at the same time. Okay, Mr. Rody 14, you apply at the same time. You got it? I earned the super chat, right? Make sure you understand that. Rui Willis, you need to get original I-134s for the embassy interview. A copy will not suffice. It's a good thing you included the I-134 in the K-1 visa package. It's not necessary that you did that, but it's okay because it adds strength to your K-1. But you must redo the I-134 and get an original to your beneficiary for the embassy interview. They will not accept an email or a scanned copy. It's got to be an original, okay? Let me see here. Mr. Rody 14 doubled. Man, you like Francois Livingston. You're doing a double doozy on us today. I got so much Mountain Dew in me now. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to sleep, but that's good. Mr. Rody 14, another super chat. A salute to Mr. Rody 14. We appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Priyanka, life is just for living. It will take 2 weeks to get NOA1, and 3 days after that, you'll receive the biometrics letter. My application is in Phoenix too. There you go. Jason Mabry, is the I-130 the same as the CR1? The CR1 is a spousal visa, and that's where you fill out the I-130. Okay? But first, you got to decide whether you're going to get married or not. If you decide you're going to fly to your beneficiary's home country, you're not the only person this happened to. Okay? Another person had the same thing happen, and he flew to Colombia, and they got married. And now they've applied for the spousal visa. You're not the first person. You're not going to be the last person. Just get married. And then I will tell you how to do the marriage visa. I'll help you with the marriage visa. But you got to decide what you're going to do first. And then don't overthink it right now on the I-130. Don't overthink it. James Van Skoda. How long is the process for adjustment of status in Phoenix? I live in Arizona. It's about 2 months longer than Chicago. And Chicago is between 4, 5, or 6 months. So Arizona, you're looking at 4 to 8 months. Right in there. Let me see. But you'll get it. You qualify for the benefit. You did the paperwork correctly. You paid the right visa fee, the green card fee. Everything's good. You'll get it. Dayru Sewell. Hi, Diego. With K1 visa interview, who is going to schedule the interview? The petitioner or the embassy? The petitioner. I scheduled Karina's K1 visa interview at the embassy in Bogota, Colombia. I did it right here on this computer. Unless you live in Mexico. If you live in Mexico, your beneficiary lives in Mexico, then occasionally, then the embassy will schedule it. But there's like only 1 or 2 embassies in the world that do that. 99% of K1 visa interviews are scheduled by the beneficiary or the petitioner. Okay? Let me see. Jason, I have 5 notarized letters, including from the jewelry shop. You listened to me then, right? You paid attention to me. I got her ring. I will try to reopen the K1, but Ghana is ruthless and afraid to have her interview in Accra again. Okay, well, relocate her to a different country. You could do that. Relocate her to a different country if you want to do that. But here's the deal. Reopen the case first. Try to reopen the case first with those affidavits. Okay? Reopen the case. If immigration won't reopen the case, fly to Ghana, get married, file for the spousal visa. Don't hire an immigration attorney. Don't waste your money. Please don't do that. Use the money for a plane ticket to go get married in Ghana if it comes to that. But if you have those affidavits of letters, especially from the jewelry shop, that's gonna. I think it'll open up the case for you. Reopen it, and you'll get it done. And life is just for living. People, listen to Diego. Trust me, he knows this thing. He knows his thing. Do not use an attorney. Waste of precious money. Life is just for living is 100% correct. Life is just for living gets a Mountain Dew salute. Priyanka gets the last word. Have a nice evening, Mr. and Mrs. Ross and Tokyo. And we will see you guys Saturday. On Saturday, we'll be back. Mr. Rody, thank you so much for those super chats. Mr. Rody, thank you. And we'll see you guys on Saturday, okay?